Okay. Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So, welcome to this session of Bhakti Gyan course. And today we are going to start reading the Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So, we have already looked at the historical context of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So, now we'll go through the different verses. First, I'll read in Sanskrit, and maybe someone can read in English just after me. So, Puja Mataji, would you like to read the English?
Text, yes. Dhritarashtra,
Okay,
yes.
so,
But
I
first,
read
yeah, that's right.
Okay.
I read the Sanskrit first, and then you read the English.
Okay, so yeah. Chapter 1. Observing the armies on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Text 1. Dhritarashtra uvacha dharmakshetre kurukshetre samveta yutsavaha mamakaha pandavaschaiva kim akurvata Sanjaya. Translation. Dhritarashtra said, O Sanjaya, after my sons and the sons of Pandu assembled in the place of pilgrimage at Kurukshetra, desiring to fight, what did they do? Text 2.
But actually, Karuna is going to read the Sanskrit. You can do the English.
Okay.
Okay. Sanjaya Uvacha Dishva tu Pandavanikam Yuddham Duryodhanastada Acharyam Upasangamya Raja Vachanam Abravit.
Translation. Sanjay said, O king, after looking over the army arranged in military formation by the sons of Pandu, King Duryodhan went to his teacher and spoke the following words.
Text 3. Pashyaitam Panduputranam Acharya Mahatim Chamum Vyudham Drupada Putrena Tava Shishyena Dhimata.
Translation. O my teacher, behold the great army of the sons of Pandu, so expertly arranged by your intelligent disciple, the son of Drupada.
Text 4. Atra Shura Maheshwasa Bhimarjuna Samayudhi Yuyudhano Viratascha Drupadascha Maharata.
Translation. Here in this army are many heroic bowmen equal in fighting to Bhima and Arjuna, great fighters like Yudhana, Virat, and Drupad.
Text 5. Drishta Ketushchekitana Kashirajascha Viryavan Purujit Kundi Bhojascha Shabdyaischa Narapungava.
Translation. There are also great heroic, powerful fighters like Drishtaketu, Chekitana, Kashiraja, Purujit, Kunti Bhoja, and Shalbya.
Text 6. Yudhamanyuscha Vikranta Utamojascha Viryavan Saubhadro Dropadeyascha Sarva Eva Maharata.
Here are the mighty Yudhamanyu, the very powerful Uttamoja, the son of Subhadra, and the sons of Draupadi. All these warriors are great chariot fighters.
Text 7. Asmakam tu vishishtaye tani bodha dvijottama nayakama sainyasya samgyartham tan bravimite.
But for your information, or based of the Brahmanas, let me tell you about the captains who are specially qualified to lead my military force.
Bhavan bhimascha karanascha kripascha samitinjaya ashwathama vikarnascha सौमदतिस्तथैव च.
There are personalities like you, Bhishma, Karna, Kripa, Ashwatthama, Vikarna, and the son of Somdatta called Purishvrava, who are always victorious in battle.
Text 9. Anye cha bahava shura madharte tyakta jivita nana shastra praharana sarve yuddha visharada.
There are many other heroes who are prepared to lay down their lives for my sake. All of them are well equipped with different kinds of weapons, and all are experienced in military science.
Text 10. Aparyaptam tadyasmakam balam bhishmabhirakshitam paryaptam twidam etesham balam bhimabhirakshitam.
Our strength is immeasurable, and we are perfectly protected by grandfather Bhishma, whereas the strength of the Pandavas, carefully protected by Bhima, is limited.
Text 11. Ayaneshu cha sarveshu yatha bhagam avastitah bhishmam eva bhirakshantu bhavantah sarva eva hi.
All of you must now give full support to grandfather Bhishma as you stand at your respective strategic points of entrance into the phalanx of the army. Hare Krishna.
So we have a summary from verse 1 to 11. Dhritarashtra asked Sanjay for help because he was blind, but he knew Sanjay has access to knowledge through his guru Srila Vyasadeva. So lesson 1. The king was aware that the battle was taking place in a holy place and his sons were unholy, so he was fearful. Being blind materially and spiritually, he sought the help of Sanjay to inform him about the battle. We are also blind, especially in terms of spiritual vision, and we need help. Duryodhana is busy counting his army, blinded by greed, envy, and material desire. One who is materially entangled in terms of I, me, and mine becomes oblivious to the ill effects of one's actions, and anxiety, frustration, and disappointment are inevitable. Lesson 2. From our very birth, we are generally brought up in a culture of I and mine, and always have expectations from others. When those expectations are not met, then that leads to frustration and anger. We have to learn to lower our expectations from others. So, any comments on this? Prabhu?
Yeah, it's very interesting because first chapter has so many lessons and Krishna doesn't even speak a word. And even from verses 1 to 11, there's already 2 lessons in there because Duryodhana's busy counting his armies. And we similarly, have this attitude that this is mine, this is mine, this is mine. But of course, everything is very temporary. Everything will be taken away at some point. So we have to be very, very careful in this material world because things can be turned upside down within a moment. So these are very powerful lessons to learn. Expectations from others. We have to bear in mind that we are living in the material world. So these are really powerful lessons.
Yes. Thank you, Prabhu. Any other comments?
I think this is expectation business from others. That is the starting point, could be the starting point of the problems that we encounter.
Correct.
When we don't get anything, something that we are expecting from the others, and then we will think our sort of ego will be puffed up, saying that, oh, he is not doing this for me. I am doing everything for him. And that is the point of the conflict. So this is very important that we have to lower our expectations from others so that we can be at peace with ourselves and stop quarreling with the others.
Very well said. Yes. it's a selfish mentality, you know. He owes me, I deserve more, I deserve better. That's the selfish attitude that we possess. And as you said very nicely, you know, it's going to cause a lot of grief because we're not going to get what we want. And if you want peace, this selfless mood that, you know, okay, I'm not going to expect anything from you, I'm just going to give without anything back in return, then there might be some possibility of peace within our minds, you know. But very well said, Naniman.
Yes, thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. So we move to the next part. Text 12. My daughter will read the English part now. Gananji.
Very good, very good.
Text 12. Tasya sanjanayan harsham kuru vridha pitamaha simhanadam vinadyochai shankham dadmo pratapavan.
Then Bhishma, the great valiant grandsire of the Kuru dynasty, the grandfather of the fighters, blew his conch shell very loudly, making a sound like the roar of a lion, giving Duryodhan joy.
Text 13. Tatha shankascha bhairyascha panavanaka mukha sahasaivaabhyahanyanta sa shabdastu mulo bhavat.
After that, the conch shells, drums, bugles, trumpets, and horns were all suddenly sounded, and the combined sound was tumultuous.
Text 14. Tatha shveterhayayukte mahati syandane stitau madhava pandavaschaiva divyau shankau pradadmatu.
On the other side, both Lord Krishna and Arjun, stationed on a great chariot drawn by white horses, sounded their transcendental conch shells.
Text 15. Panchajanyam rishikesho devadattam dhananjaya paundram dadmau mahashankam bhimakarma vikrudaraha.
Lord Krishna blew his conch shell, called Panchajanya. Arjuna blew his, the Devadatta, and Bhim, the voracious eater and performer of Herculean tasks, blew his terrific conch shell, called Pond.
Text 16 to 18. Ananta Vijayam Raja Kunti Putro Yudhishthira Nakula Sahadevascha Sughosha Manipushpakau Kashyascha Parameshwasha Shikhandi cha Maharatah Drishtadyumno Viratascha सात्यकिश्च पराजितः द्रुपदो द्रौपदेयाश्च सर्वशः प्रीतिविपाते सौभद्रश्च महाबाहु शङ्खान् दद्मु पृथक् पृथक्.
King Yudhishthir, the son of Kunti, blew his conch shell, the Ananta Vijaya, and Nakul and Sahadev blew the Sughosh and Manipushpaka. That great archer, the king Kashi, the great fighter Shikhandi, Drishtadyumna, Virat, the unconquerable Satyaki, Draupad, the sons of Draupadi, and others, O king, such as the mighty armed son of Subhadra, all blew their respective conch shells.
Text 19. Saghoshodhartarashtanam hridayani vyadarayat nabhascha prithivim chaiva tumulobhyanunadayan.
The blowing of these different conch shells became uproarious, vibrating both in the sky and on the earth. It shattered the hearts of the sons of Dhritarashtra.
So the summary, from verses 12 to 19. Despite Duryodhan's boastful words, the ominous result of this confrontation is made clear from the onset. So lesson 3. Being so selfish ends in misery. Compare Duryodhan and Yudhishthir. Taking will not result in happiness, but giving can bring great satisfaction. We can learn to give with our thoughts. 80,000 thoughts go through our mind every day, mostly negative, so watch the mind. Our words, appreciate others and be grateful. Our actions, help others by our deeds according to our capacity. Our possessions, again according to our capacity, assist others. Okay, so any comment?
Do you recall what this comparison was between Duryodhana and Yudhishthir? It was when Dronacharya asked Duryodhana to go into Hastinapur and find somebody worse than him, or somebody better than him. And he went to Hastinapur, and he came back to Dronacharya after some time, and he said to his guru, "I've searched right through Hastinapur. I couldn't find anybody better than me." And Yudhishthir was asked to do the same sort of thing by Dronacharya. He said, "Find somebody worse than you." He went around with this Hastinapur. He came back after some time and he said to Dronacharya, "I couldn't find anybody worse than I am. Everybody's better than me." So the comparison between the two is amazing. I think this is quite important, that we have this mood of giving, because what giving does, it automatically puts us in a positive mood, straight away. Whereas taking is like an automatic negative mood. Giving, I want to do something. Taking, I want something. Giving just automatically puts you in this positive mood, with our thoughts, words, actions, and possessions. If we can manage to give with all four, it'll really be our success.
Thank you, Prabhu. I didn't remember this comparison between Duryodhan and Yudhishthir.
Yeah. I only remember because we just did it in Children's Sangha.
Okay, so shall we go through one more lesson? Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Text 20. So maybe Chitra can read. She online. Yes, she.
Yeah, she's there.
Yeah, Chitra can read the English.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Amen.
Could I mention anything, please?
Oh yeah, please.
Can you put a little bit down, please?
Okay.
Here, when he says being selfish and misery, compared the Duryodhana Yudhishthir, taking with the no result in the happiness, but giving can bring great satisfaction. We can learn to give with our thoughts. I'm only going to say one of these, like when it says action, help others by our deeds accordingly to our capacity, which is, I mean, for me, I think that you can only help other people whatever you can. Is that right? Or you can't go over it?
That sounds right. You know, you can only help if you're in a position to help. Yes, correct.
Just one
All right.
thing, Prabhuji. Action or help does not only mean physical. We don't have to do physical. We can help others by doing the prayers for them.
Very good.
Or if we are going to the temple and somebody wants to come with us in the car, then we can take them. So that is helping others as well. Physical, mental, transcendental, anything can be helpful, not just by giving, by physically, by your possession or by money, or that's one way to help anyway, but other ways to help as well.
Correct, correct. That sounds good. That sounds good. Yeah, we can help in many different ways. Correct, correct.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Does that make sense, Pravin?
You're muted, Mataji.
Yes, you're right, because it's not to do with the money. It's just that you can help more where, like help shopping, or you can visit the people or talk with them, or if they need any help, then you can go and give a hand in the house, like if they say come and help a little bit in the house. Is that right, Mataji?
Yes, any help. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you.
Thanks.
I think this point about the thoughts, you
Yeah.
know, most of our thoughts, if we look at our thoughts, a lot of them are negative. And those negative thoughts so bring us down, gives us stress, gives us, you know, health conditions. And if somehow a negative thought comes, if we can recognize that negative thought and immediately say, okay, you know what, that thought, I want to turn it into a positive thought. So how do we do that? For example, say somebody is not treating us in a proper way. Somebody close to us, maybe a family member, somebody who, you know, we expect better from. So they will preoccupy our mind, no doubt about it. We'll be thinking about them a lot in a bad way. So how do we turn that into a positive? One way might be, there are many ways, but one way might be that, my dear Lord, I'm very attached to that person who at the moment I'm having negative thoughts. So I'd like to thank you, my Lord, because you are reducing my attachment to that person because of the way they're treating me, or whatever it is, whatever is negative in my mind. You are cutting the knot of attachment, which I know will keep me in this world. So I'm thanking you, my Lord. By thanking, we're turning that negative thought into a positive thought. If we're thanking the Lord, or if we're thanking that person who's treating us the way they're treating us, we're thanking them that, yes, by this treatment, I'm realizing in this material world, I should not be attached, and this is making me detached. So just a thought. When the next negative thought comes to our mind, analyze it and see how can we turn it into a positive thought. And I must say, after doing these Gita courses, I have a lot of negative thoughts going through my head, but I recognize them now, and I think, okay, no, you know what? I'm not going to dwell on that negative thought. No, you know, why should I? I'm going to make it positive. And then I think of a way, how do I make it positive? So I think if we start with our thoughts, it'll filter into our words, it'll filter into our actions. And then, of course, whatever we actions mean, whatever we possess, will also have the same, have the benefit of the positive action. Anyway, just a thought. Sorry, Karuna.
Probably we're learning a lot through you, so thank you.
So I think we're about halfway through chapter 1. Might as well continue. Oh, so tomorrow, actually, maybe we can just discuss tomorrow after this session, because if devotees want to continue tomorrow, that is possible. I can put it on, and it should be okay. I just won't be able to attend it. That's the only thing.
Puja, I'm not there tomorrow. There's some,
Okay.
we're getting
So-
some guests at Arti's house, so.
Okay, so shall we have a break?
Yeah.
Let's have a break.
I'm out too, Prabhuji.
Okay, let's have a break tomorrow, if that's okay, Karuna.
Okay, Prabhu.
Yeah,
Okay. All right.
thank you.
Thank you. So Monday is the next session on second half of chapter 1.
Excellent.
Okay, very good. And it is very powerful chapter, even though Krishna says hardly anything. So,
And the lessons that Mataji has sound up, they're really nice. So,
Hmm.
and then we do some discussion on it. So it's really thoughtful sessions we are having.
okay, good. That's good to hear that. That's positive thinking. Okay.
Yes,
Thank you.
I mean, negative thoughts, I mean, I don't worry about them. I just let them go away, because that is what brings misery. Oh, somebody has done this to me. And then it goes on and on and on. One negative thought doesn't end there. It goes to secondaries, third, fourth, fifth. It goes on and on. And then you are in such a state of hyper excitement. I've gone done with that.
That's good to hear, actually, not even, because
Yeah.
you turn a molehill into a mountain, isn't it? That's what they say. You think so much into it, and the other person, he's not even realize, or she's not even realize that they've done anything wrong, you know.
Yeah, they don't think anything. And here we are boiling away.
Yeah. No, that's a very good point, Daniel. Thank you.
I just want to add something,
Hmm.
but it's quite difficult in our daily activities. Just like today, I had some negative words from my boss.
Oh,
So
Oh,
it's not that I'm having negative thoughts, but it disturbs us. And I know I'm not doing anything wrong, but that negative words, it disturbs us in
It does.
one way or the other. Yeah.
It does.
So
It does.
now to think not to have the negative thoughts, it's really something we
It's challenging.
Yeah, challenging. It's
Yeah.
yeah.
But this is the beauty of this material world, you know. Challenges will always come. They'll keep coming. And Krishna says to Arjuna, you know, how are you going to deal with this? Your duty is to fight. How are you going to deal with this now? And at the end, right, he says, I've told you everything. Have you understood? So no doubt these challenging situations will constantly come, but it's how we deal with them. Yes, okay, this person's spoken to me negative. I can deal with it in a few ways, right? When I can have a look at myself and say, okay, you know what? I may not have done something wrong, but in his eyes I have. Let me see what he's seeing in me, which I need to improve. No, so that's mode of goodness. Mode of passion is, look, I'm going to go back to him and say, hang on, why did you say all that?
This is the first reaction, I think. But in my case, I wasn't happy, so I say I would go and make him hurt. So that he has some things. So no, I just got myself and no, he's the boss, so I'm not going to do this. Let's think about it again, and then we'll see what to do.
That's mode of goodness. That is mode of goodness. But even within the mode of passion, there's 3 modes. It gets really complex. Like you could say to the boss, okay, I hear your negative thoughts, and you could just clarify a little bit more so that I can improve, right? So that's you questioning him, but with the mood of improvement. Second is, right, you criticized me, but you're wrong. You're wrong. I don't have anything that you said to me negatively. It's rubbish. That's real passion. And then
Mhm.
ignorance is, you said this, I resign, I quit. So what you've done is really, really good. You say, okay, let's take a step back. I'll think on this.
Yeah.
And you still may want to approach him. It's not necessarily a bad thing. If it's done in the right mood. And it may give you that peace as well. And he may also think, oh, hang on a minute, she's right. There isn't any actually this thing I've told her. It's not really there.
Yeah, that's why I didn't say anything for the time
Mm.
being. I said, prepare my words
Yeah.
and maybe my tone, because at times maybe my tone is too harsh. So I say
Right.
I just cool down, prepare the words, prepare myself well, and then I'm going to approach him again, and then we'll see what happens. So the actions also is that we have to take care about of the actions so that we don't get negative words again from persons. So yeah, we need to think a lot about positivity.
Yeah, what you're doing is really good. Actually, I am very much like, if somebody says something, I'll punch back, and that's not good at all. So what you've given a good way, or practical way of dealing with negative feedback. Really good. Really good. Thank you. I'll have to remember this. I just wanted to ask Surinder, any thoughts on what we've been discussing? It's nice to hear you.
Yeah, Hare Krishna, Dandavat Prabhu, and Dandavat to all the Vaishnavas, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Yes, so the beginning, it was mentioned like I, me, mine, the false ego. So the true ego is explained by Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Jivera Swarupa Hoy Krishna Nitya Das, 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 Nudas. So the negative aspect that when everything is focused upon I, me, and mine, so this is a false ego. This is not the right concept. Our true identity, that the true ego is Jivera Swarupa Hoy, Krishna Nitya Das, 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 Anudas. We are spirit soul servant of Krishna, servants of Sri Krishna. So when we are situated in the true ego, then we can proceed with our practice of Krishna consciousness. This is the basic understanding and necessity to progress in our Krishna consciousness. Now, also, it was mentioned about give and take, like taking is better and giving is better and taking brings misery. Our Gurudev said like anything, if you want to give to Krishna. If you want to ask from Sri Krishna, Vrindavan Krishna, Swayam Bhagavan Sri Krishna. So in this way, even if we are asking and taking the prasad of Sri Krishna, so this is no problem, provided it is centered towards Krishna. So in our behavior, just by giving or taking in itself, it doesn't determine whether it is right or wrong. Where it is dovetailed is the most important aspect. If we want to ask, then ask Swayam Bhagavan Sri Krishna. If you want to give Swayam Bhagavan Sri Krishna in a samambonam, then you're on the right path. Now, about our thoughts, the negative thoughts. So in Srimad Bhagavatam, the mother of Dhruva Maharaj, Suniti is her name. She said to Dhruv, my dear son, never wish bad for others, for it will come back to you. So as the saying goes, what goes around comes round. Yeah, it comes back to us. So in this way, we should make good wishes. So the concept of Vishwambhara Vishwera Kalyana. So when we are situated in this platform of Vishwambhara Vishwera Kalyana, praying for one and all that Gauranga Mahaprabhu will bring his mercy and auspiciousness in the life of one and all. In this mood, we will be a well-wisher for one and all in this prayerful mood of Vishwambhara Vishwera Kalyana. So whoever we meet, first thing we offer this prayer before any dealings happen. And this is very exemplary. I can quote one example at my workplace. So my style of doing things that when patients are coming from far distance, they are far distance, a patient is coming. From the far distance, I offer this prayer. Vishwambhara Vishwara Kalyan. Means Goranga Mahaprabhu bring his mercy and bestow his mercy and bless you with auspiciousness. So one day there was a patient with anger management condition. So when he is coming, as usual for most of my patients, when I remember, I recite this from very distance when they are coming towards me. I say Vishwambhara Vishwara in my mind, in my heart, and I welcome the patient, present myself, etc., and do the job. So when the patient was peaceful and happy with me, with his mood, I noticed. And then after finishing from me, the patient goes to other colleagues who deal with him. And they had a hard time with him. They came to me and says, how did you manage with this patient? We had a hard time. His anger management, he was so angry, frustrated. How did you do that? Did this happen to you? I said, no, it was okay. No, everything went fine. So in this way, Vishwambhara Vishwara Kalyana is a best approach, like, well, dealing with anybody and everybody. In this mood of Vishwambhara Vishwara Kalyana, we will never have anybody as enemy. There is no enmity because you are well-wisher for one and all, because we are praying that Gauranga Mahaprabhu will bestow his mercy to one and all. In this way, I personally, my Amnaya, the revealed truth, came to me some realization. So I deal with that in this way. Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Nitai Gaur Hari Bol.
Thank you. I note your point about if you want something, ask from Krishna and take. The thing what we want to try to establish into our sort of mood of bhakti is, I don't want anything from you, Krishna. If we can, I just want to serve you. And whatever's coming, whatever is there, I'll accept it. And whatever I want in service to you, to do service for you, I will accept whatever you give. So ideally, we want to establish that mood.
Yes, you're right, Prabhu. Yes, it's the ideal bhakti. We don't ask anything in return for the service we render to Hari Guru Vaishnava. It's all to serve and please Hari Guru Vaishnava. This is the ideal path. But sometimes in certain circumstances, if we have to ask, then we
He's
ask
the one to ask.
Bhagavan Krishna.
Yeah, he's the one to ask.
That desire will be purified by the grace of Shri Krishna, Gurudev and Vaishnavas.
Well, that's good. That's good. Just wanted to clarify. Good. Thank you so much. So we can stop there. Huh? Chapter 1, Bhagavad Gita ki jai.
Jai.